heard this in a long time.
It's been a while, ain't it?
Well, this is the original version that we did with. I mean, it's not the original. It's the original cover that we did with Danny Wilde. But you know, I always hear it now with Chris singing it. So,
What year was this?
99, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. Might have been 2000. No, it was 99.
Here we go, guys.
Saturday with Ted continues on Newstalk 1010.
Take it, this is about to end.
Welcome back to the program. It is 2:09 at Newstalk 1010. The music of Jesse Cook. The amazing Jesse Cook. And he joins me and Bill in studio. It's a real pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. And nice to meet you. And Bill. Bill I've met before. But, but I have to say I'm amazed that you have a musical director. It's fantastic.
The only talk show, I think, in radio talk show in the country, at least, as far as I know.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. You're gonna play while I'm talking, or are you gonna give me like a little theme?
Well, it depends on how musical.
He does requests, too.
Oh, does he really?
I do your whole.
My whole catalog. I'd like to actually hear that on a piano. I think that'd be awesome.
I guess the two you first met was at the Beaches Jazz Festival.
Years ago, yeah.
When
for me,
he was a young guy, and it was his mom called.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
says, "Can we find Jesse a spot on the festival? He's really good."
Come on, yeah, I was 30 at the time, but my mom still called. She was, looking out for me.
Well, your mom would know how to do this, how to get this kind of stuff happening, because with her television and film background as a producer, right?
It's true. She was a television producer for The Nature of Things for decades.
Well, I mean, that's when you're a producer. You know how to pick up phone calls and annoy somebody until they say yes.
Well, you would think that, but actually, because she worked for the CBC, she had none of those skills. Networking, sort of going out there and schmoozing, that wasn't part of what she did. Because, she had a gig. She had a job that was going to go on for decades. She didn't have to worry about her next paycheck, Yeah. So she was, she was good at making films, but not good at schmoozing. So that's probably why I'm the same way.
The Nature of Things, huh?
Yeah.
That's a great show.
It was a great show.
Yeah, long-running,
Yeah.
iconic program on the Mother Corp.
Yes, the mothership. It was it was a fantastic show. And as a kid, David Suzuki, when he first came to Toronto, he lived at our house for a while when he was looking for a place, and then when I went to college.
If you had known what you know now, it would have been great to really screw with him. Just like one night, turn the air conditioning on while he's asleep. Next night, turn the heat up completely. Just confuse them. What's going on? I don't know. And just stand outside with a can of hairspray. I'm a cruel, sick guy, you know what I'm saying? You sold more than a million albums around the world. That's what it says here. And
it must be right.
It's your press release. Why would they lie?
Yeah. No, I think that was a while back. I mean, it's probably more than that now. But it is. It's an amazing number. When you consider that most of this music is completely esoteric, weird music.
Well, it's not top 40 pop hit music,
no,
right?
it's certainly not. And I mean, the bulk of it is instrumental music. It is music that has no lyrics, has no vocal, none of the things, it doesn't have a rock drum kit and all the stuff that we sort of...
No pyro?
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm really thrilled that I can actually do my weird music and not have to drive a cab to support it. I think that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, I would think that your style of music, and it's hard to put it's kind of that flamenco, salsa, it's fusion, right? There's a number of different things. It's not one kind of, here it is, a little category, we'll put it in there.
Yeah.
But the interest in that, I would imagine, over the years has been spurred by groups like Gypsy Kings.
For me, initially, the Gypsy Kings were a huge influence, for sure. My father lived in Arles in the south of France, and he was actually neighbors with Nicolas Reyes, who was the lead singer of the Gypsy Kings. Now, this is before they were the world-famous Gypsy Kings.
Are you the king of 6 degrees of separation here?
We're getting it.
No, it was looking back. I mean, you never know these things at the time, but looking back and seeing where my career is now, and the fact that my father decided to retire to Arles and be neighbors with one of the Gypsy Kings before they became famous, just as I was a teenager, just as I was, really becoming fascinated with the guitar. It's a miracle. I mean, it formed, a lot of my interest in music, and it really had a huge impact on me. And I didn't really thank him enough when he was alive. I didn't sort of kind of deconstruct my own life enough to realize, oh my God, if he hadn't done that, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. I'd be, polishing shoes down at Union Station. I have no idea. I have no other skills. This is all I can do.
I know. I listen. If it wasn't for my ability to yap a little bit, I'd be, I don't even know if I could polish shoes. That's how much lower I am than you are in this. on this deal. We should point out that you're coming to a theater near us, the Markham Theater, on Thursday evening.
That's right. And where else? I'm in Belleville on Tuesday and Oshawa on Friday.
I don't have your complete itinerary here. I just have this one thing here, so I apologize for that.
That's okay.
Are you doing much traveling outside the country right now?
Right now I'm actually making a record. I'm not touring at all, but we decided, if I make a record for long enough, all the guys in the band are going to quit and look for, new employment. So we went out to do a tour just, in the fall so we can get out and make sure we're still a band, still know how to play these songs. And we're actually going, on this tour, we're going to some country, or some small cities that we've never been to, and I've toured Canada like most Canadian musicians a lot. But we're going to be going up to Fort McMurray and places like that I've never seen, and I'm actually really looking forward to.
You know what? I was going to say the same thing. As long as you're not going in the middle of February, it'll probably be a really cool, interesting experience.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go and look at the tar sands. I mean, there's been a lot said about that, and it's a big concern for a lot of people, and I want to go and see it, myself.
All right. More with Jesse Cook when we return in a moment. It's 2:15 at Newstalk 1010. Time saver traffic right now.
We'll come back.
So now I graduated, but where's that job? Well, it's gone. Well, now you're screwed.
No, that's it. I asked a teacher at Berkeley what he thought I should do. I said, I've been offered this score. I'd be traveling around the world and composing music for this dance company. And, do you think I should stay and finish my school or take the job? And he goes, you know what? If I could take that job, I'd take it and leave. So I think you should do it.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. So it was one of those things. But at that point, I'd done 4 years of music education. And, music colleges always assume that they are the only ones who know how to teach music, and therefore there's no transfer credits accepted. So, I just thought 4 years, and if I'd stayed at one school, it would have been a degree, but...
Right. And the school's only to get you the tools.
Get you kind of
Create.
going. Yeah, the rest of it, you're going to be learning the rest of your life. So.
Yeah.
This
Okay,
is
coming back. The music of Jesse Cook right here on News Talk 1010. Is this from your most recent CD that we're listening?
No, that's actually an old one. I think
That's an old
that's a song called Vertigo.
I think Dan has just picked a number of different selections of. He's a big fan of yours.
Oh, no, that's nice. That's nice.
So the album that you're working on right now, I mean, I still call it albums. So do you call them albums?
I call them album. I call them records. I have no
Yeah.
idea. The fact is, why call them CDs? Nobody buys CDs anymore anyway. So
That's true too.
yeah, you should call it. This is my next collection of MP3 downloads for torrent sites.
Yeah. When you're gonna put out a new cassette soon?
Yeah, exactly.
See, nobody ever
The
said
cassette's
that.
coming back. Yeah.
I never went to that point. An
cassette-
8-track. I'm recording. The Beatles are putting out a new 8-track.
But cassettes are coming back.
Are they?
Yeah, there was a whole piece on how people are buying cassettes, especially from independent bands because they're so cheap to make.
Really? That's
and
bizarre.
they're selling again, and they're really picking up.
I don't get it. I mean, vinyl
Yeah.
I get. I can understand the vinyl thing, but the cassette thing, I never liked cassette. I mean, reel-to-reel
Yeah.
tape, a whole other beast. I mean, unbelievable. The
Yeah.
sound quality of reel-to-reel tape. It still beats digital, I think.
But people are backing off on the LPs because the LPs are like $40 each. The ones that are out there now.
The actual album.
You mean-
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're selling. That's what they sell for in stores because they're high end and they're analog, most of them, the
Yeah,
sound
yeah.
and everything. So it goes back, but that's what they sell for. Really expensive.
That's a lot of cash. You performed on the Tonight Show
I did. That was completely surreal.
with Jay Leno.
Jay Leno, yeah, and Charlotte Church, and it was a completely strange experience. I should tell you, I went on the Tonight Show exactly a week after my father passed away.
Wow.
So I was a basket case. I mean, you have no idea. I was really, in turmoil. I didn't know what was going on, and my emotions were just, up. And it was horrible. It was horrible, and yet it was like the biggest gig of your life, probably. I mean, I can't think of anything I've done that had a bigger viewership. So it was also terrifying, mixed terror into all those other emotions, and it was a very strange night.
Mm-hmm. And could you see the reaction after you were on? I mean, could you quantify it in sales, for example, or did your agent's phone start ringing more and more?
I don't think so. I think, for one thing, I think when originally we were invited to go on, it was going to be Charlotte Church and I going up and talking to Jay, and then, somehow in the thing, Charlotte went, was invited to the couch, and I sat with the band, and I don't think it was really even mentioned during the broadcast that it was actually my band and my arrangement that we were playing or anything. And then the next day, apparently, people were phoning into Jay Leno, and I think he announced it on the air that, oh, we got so many calls, we should say that guitarist last night was Jesse Cook.
Yeah.
So, but at that point, I think, the momentum had been lost.
But it's also different now. I mean, there's so many talk shows. If you had gone on years ago, of course, you